we're going to do an assignment called the 4 views of an object. As we learned earlier, we can represent objects 4 different ways. We've got a perspective drawing. We have a cabinet view. They also call that an oblique view. We have an isometric drawing, which is a way to represent things 3-dimensionally. And we have an orthographic projection. So let's go over the characteristics of each of those very quickly. A perspective drawing is a very natural drawing. It's the way things are in reality. As things are farther and farther away from us, they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So when we're drawing a perspective drawing, we have to have vanishing points, and all vertical lines are vertical, but all the horizontal lines will disappear towards a vanishing point. In a cabinet view, we've got a straight-on drawing where the vertical lines are vertical and horizontal lines are horizontal, but all of the side views are drawn at the exact same angle. Usually that's 30 degrees, 60 degrees, something like that, 45 degrees. We have an isometric drawing. An isometric drawing is a way to represent things 3-dimensionally. All vertical lines are vertical, but the word iso means equal. And so all of your horizontal lines are drawn at 30-degree angles. And then finally, we have an isometric projection, which is a multi-view drawing. So I can show a top view, a front view, and a side view. So what we're going to do in this assignment, we are going to create the 4 views of an object. So let's go to CAD and begin. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've drawn a square. This is a 10 by 10 square, and I went ahead and bisected that square horizontally and vertically. What does bisect mean? I cut it in half. So here I've got my 4 squares again. So we want to represent this 3-dimensionally. So first, let's try a perspective drawing. So we're just going to come on up here, and we're going to begin our perspective drawing by first creating a line for our horizon. Now, as I start to draw a line across, I can try and eyeball it and get at 0 degrees, but am I going to get exactly 0? Right now, it looks pretty good. But the best way to do that is come down here to put on ortho mode. And that way I'm ensured I get a perfect horizontal line. And this is going to be our horizon. And let's go ahead and make that horizon 60. I can just type in 60 and hit enter. And there I've got my horizon. Now I need vanishing points. I need some vanishing points where all of my lines are going to be drawn to. So I've got my artificial horizon. I'm going to go ahead and maybe draw a vertical line. If I zoom in here right on the end, I'll just go ahead and draw a vertical line, and let's make that 6, and I hit OK. And let's center that line on my horizon. So if I hit move and I grab it here in the center and I'll put it right there, and that will be my first vanishing point. And I'll make the same line over here. So let me just copy it. Copy selection. We'll grab it in the dead center and we'll take it over and put it right there. So here I've got my vanishing points, and we can even do a little bit of text here, and we'll put VP for vanishing point. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is so small. I'll never be able to see it. So if you guys remember from manipulating our text, we can go ahead and, make that a little bit bigger. There we go. I can see that now. So I'm going to go ahead and move it. And I'm going to, I need to get off ortho for this one. So let me get off ortho. I'm going to move it right here. Now, I want to put it in the exact same spot over on the other side. So this time I will put ortho on because I just need to move it horizontally. I'm going to go ahead and select it, hit copy, grab it, and now I can move it right there, and everything is aligned up. Why is it aligned up? It's aligned up because I'm in ortho. So ortho has its, ortho has its good points there. So we're going to draw this as a three-dimensional object. I've got two vanishing points. We're going to start with this vertical line here. Now, this is a 10 by 10 square, so I'm going to start with a vertical line that's 10 inches long. The best way to do that is to be in ortho mode. So I'm going to hit line. I'm going to go ahead and grab down and start it moving it, and I want it to be 10. So I'm going to hit 10 and enter. Okay. And so here I've got this 10-inch line. Now, depending on where I put it, if I put it directly on the horizon, it's going to be equally disappearing at the same angle, heading towards that way. I could put it above the horizon. I could put it below the horizon. So why don't we just for fun, let's just put it slightly below the horizon. And you're going to see what happens. So now what we need to do is we need to draw our lines towards the vanishing points. Now, as things get smaller, or as things go farther away, they appear to be smaller. So what we need to do is we need to we'll start with some vertical lines. So this was 10 inches, but as we get farther away, it's not going to be 10 inches. Maybe it's going to, go down towards 4 inches. I don't know. So let's first draw some guidelines. So we're going to go from here to our vanishing point. Boom. And we cannot do this on ortho if we want ortho off. Okay. I'm going to take this line here. I'm going to snap from here. I'm going to go to my vanishing point. Take this line here and go to my vanishing point. And I'm going to take this line here and go to my vanishing point. Okay. So here I've got some lines going towards the vanishing points. Now, what I need to do is come up with a size for what I would think would be, 10. So obviously things get smaller as they go farther away. I could just guesstimate and make a vertical line here. So let's just do that. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate, and I will just now here's where I don't want snaps, because if I have snaps and I try to make a vertical line here, it's not going to let me. It is going to the snap. So I have to turn my snaps off. And let's try this again. So I'm going to make this vertical line, and I'm going to go down, and this is where ortho would be good. So I'm going to turn ortho on. So that way I am going to get a nice vertical line, and I'm just going to go right to there. Okay. Now I want this to be approximately the same distance. How do I do that? I need to move it over here. I want to make sure it's approximately the same distance. Well, I think the best way is I can go ortho and try and line it up just like these are lined up from line to line. So if I make sure I'm on ortho, which I am, I grab this, I hit copy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and copy, and I'll just grab it right down here, and I'm going to go straight across. And when I intersect that line, Boom. And, ooh, it didn't quite do that. Why? Well, because this is probably not centered in the exact dead center of this. So let's try this again. Let me come here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit better so I can see this. And I will, there it looks like I'm intersecting. So I hit escape, and I'll just delete this line. Delete that line. Okay. Now, this square has these bisected lines. Okay. So how are we going to do that? Well, we know that this is exactly 10, so we could come to the center of that. So we'll put the snaps back on. Put the snaps back on. I'm going to draw a line from the center to the vanishing point. So snap it to the center. Oh, I'm in ortho. Get out of ortho. Come on here to the vanishing point. Snap it in the center. Go to the vanishing point. That was easy. So there I've got my center lines. How do I find the center here? Because this is not an exact science, so to speak. Okay. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to draw some guidelines. The best way to find the center of it, I can measure it, but making X's is the easiest way that I know to find the center. So if I come here and I come right there, now see right here where they're crossed, more than likely that is going to be the dead center. But just to be sure, let's go ahead and finish our X. And sure enough, there's my dead center. And let's go ahead and put the X on the other side. And let's draw a vertical line through here. Okay. This time I do want to make sure I'm in ortho so that I get a nice straight line. If my snaps are on, I can get this extension line here, and I can go from here. Oh no, it wanted to snap. That's not good. So we will turn the snaps off. So it's not going to be as easy because I can't find my extension line. Well, actually what I could do is I could go snaps, start with my extension line here, click right there, turn snaps off, and come right there. All right. I can do the same thing here. My snap, turn it on, start a line, hit that center, come up to my extension, grab it here, and turn snaps off, and go right down here to the bottom and hit escape. So I no longer need these, so I can get rid of those. And now we have a top view of this cube. How are we going to take care of the top view? Well, guess what? Everything here is going to go to that vanishing point, and everything there is going to go to that vanishing point. So we need some more guidelines. So if I hit my line, I'm going to come to this corner, and I'll snap for that. I'm going to come to this corner, and I'm going to snap to my vanishing point. Boom. And I will come to this corner and snap to that vanishing point. Now, as you can see, I've got a lot of different lines that I'm dealing with here. And if I also go with the centers, I got to do the same thing. Otherwise, it's not going to work right. So I'll grab the center right here, go to the vanishing point, grab that center, go to the vanishing point, and you know, what a mess. What a mess. But hey, I've got my crisscross lines. So Here's my cube. It's done. What we can do now is trim and get rid of all of these excess lines that we no longer need. So if I highlight everything and then I hit trim, trim that, 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 that, and that. Okay, and for some reason we have deleted that line. Well, I can go back and fix that. And ooh, look at here. This line has extended down below that line. So first of all, let's highlight these and we'll do the trim. Trim that. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and make sure my snaps are on, and we're going to extend this line from here to there. All right. There is my perspective drawing. So let's go ahead and label it a perspective drawing. So I'm going to come up here to text. I'm going to draw my space. I'm going to type in perspective drawing. And I want to make sure it's a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and hit 8's a little big. Let's make it 0.5. Hit enter. So, yeah. And there we go. Oh, it didn't do it. Let's try this again. Double click, highlight, 0.5, enter. And there we go. Well, actually 0.5 is a little small, so maybe we do want it bigger. Let's try 0.8. There we go. That'll work. So I'll move this. And we're in ortho, so let me get out of ortho and we'll move it right here. And there is our perspective drawing.